back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video. I'm so glad to be back filming, and I know that July for me has been a crazy month, but just hasn't been a lot going on my channel, and for that I gravely apologize. It's just been so busy, and finding the time to sit down and film has been a little bit harder than usual, but I am very excited to get back into my schedule, get back into filming 3 times a week. But hopefully you guys didn't miss the videos too much and it didn't disappoint you guys too much, but I'm very excited to be back, and I'm very excited to be doing today's video. So I will be doing my July book haul, but I'm actually going to be splitting it into 2 parts because I ended up having like 60 something books, and it was just a little bit too much to try to stuff into one video. So for today's video, I will be talking about all the books that I got from you guys and from my family members as gifts for my birthday, which I want to say a huge thank you. You guys did not have to get me gifts. It was so sweet of you guys for doing that, and I very much appreciate it. It was just, every time I would receive a gift, it was like my heart would just melt because I was just so thankful and grateful. So thank you guys so much. And then the rest of the books I'm going to talk about today are brand new books that I picked up from either Amazon or Barnes & Noble, places like that. So without further ado, I know this video is going to be long, even though I'm cutting it in half, so let's go ahead and get into talking about some books. So I think that most of the books that I'm going to talk about from the gifts from you guys, I know who sent them, but I think there's 1 or 2 that I didn't have a name, and I obviously want to thank you properly, so I will be shouting that out when I get there. But the first gift that is right on top that I want to talk about is from Luna. Thank you so much, Luna, for sending me this gift. I am so grateful for it, and that is The Wedding Date by Jasmine Gilroy. I actually already have a copy of this on my shelf, but I'm very excited that I have one without the Target sticker on it, so I'm going to be keeping the one that Luna gave me, and the second copy will go into a giveaway sometime soon. I'm not quite sure when, but it will definitely be coming. Next up is Tiny Infinities, and I was gifted this from Brayden, so thank you so much, Brayden. You are amazing. You're one of my best friends, so thank you so much. And this is a middle grade book. I don't really know what it's about, honestly. I just know that it's middle grade, and this cover is insanely gorgeous, so I snagged it up and put it on my list, and I'm so grateful that Brayden got it for me, so thank you so much. And I just want to talk about the inside cover of this with the dust jacket off. Like, come on, that is so pretty. So I'm very excited for this. Thank you so much. And then the very first book that I got as a gift from you guys was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is a YA mystery thriller that I'm very excited about. And this was given to me by Ivy, I think. I could be wrong about that. On the inside it says Brock, but I think that she must have used someone else's account because I did talk to her about this gift. So, I'm hoping that it's Ivy. If I got that wrong, please leave that in the comments below. Thank you so much for the sweet gift. I was very excited to receive this, and I cannot wait to read this. Then from another one of my very good friends, I got a gift from Sharon, and she gave me God's Grave by J. Kristoff, the second book in the Nevernight series. The first book is fantastic. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about the second book because spoilers, but the first book is about a girl named Mia who is training to be an assassin at this assassin school because she wants to get revenge on the people that killed her family. And the first book was so good. It would definitely had a lot of intrigue and politics, and definitely a dark book for sure, but I enjoyed it so much and was thoroughly surprised, and I'm very excited to continue on with the series. And I'm really hoping that my lights are not super like washing me out. They are very bright, and I don't know how to tone them down, so let's hope that this video doesn't look like a big pile of poop. Also from Sharon, she got me Cinderella is Dead by Kaylanisimplyme, I think how you say that last name. This is a Cinderella retelling where it's centuries after Cinderella and the prince have met and fell in love, and the last descendant of Cinderella is basically running away from her family because she doesn't want to have any part of this new system where everyone has to meet the person that they love at a ball and marry, and she doesn't want any part of that. And I've also heard that it has some LGBTQI+ representation in this book, so I'm very excited to read this. Thank you so much, Sharon. You are the best. Then I have another gift here from Brayden. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet, honestly. I'm just going to say thank you a million times in this video, so get used to it. But this is How Long Until Black Future Month, and this is by N.K. Jemisin. I have yet to read an N.K. Jemisin book, but I'm very excited. because not only are we reading N.K. Jemisin for the Shelf Space Book Club, which I'm co-hosting, but now I have 2 other N.K. Jemisin books on my shelves that I'm very excited to get to. I don't know too much of what this is about. I honestly just put it on my cart because I love a good story about Black people and Black main characters written by a Black author. So I really wanted to prioritize this, and I'm so glad that Brayden got it for me as a gift. Okay, and then we have a gift from Michelle. She got me Home Before Dark. Thank you so much, Michelle. You are so awesome. I'm very excited to read this. This is going to be my first Riley Sagar, and I'm so excited to try out his work. This is a haunted house mystery. Basically, the female character, their family lived in this haunted house for 20 days, and apparently all of this crazy stuff happened, but her parents were writers, and she doesn't really believe all the stuff that their parents said about this house. So after they passed away, she goes back and is trying to see if all of the things are true, and she definitely gets into some shenanigans, so I'm very excited for this. Then Amy, another one of my wonderful subscribers, picked me up The City of Brass. Thank you so much. I am so excited for this. This is definitely a book that freaks me out because it's huge and it's an adult fantasy, but I'm very excited. I've heard great things about the series and I really just need to read it. And this is by S.A. Chakraborty. I hope I said that right, but I honestly don't know too much about this book. I just heard such great things about the series that I thought I should pick it up, and thank you so much for Amy for getting it for me. Then Ivy got me another book, and that was Daughters of Neri. I picked this book up because the Black Girl magic in this book was just fantastic. Literally, the cover just screams Black Girl magic, and honestly, there aren't very many covers out there with dark Black girls on them, and so I really love the representation of that in this book. I believe it's also written by a Black author, yes, and I'm just really excited to read it. I have no idea what it's about, but I need more of these books on my shelf, so I'm just going to go in blind and hope that I really enjoy it. Okay, so the next 2 books that I'm going to talk about are books that I'm really excited for, but these are the 2 gifts that I received that I do not know who they are from, and I believe they're from the same person. So if you sent this to me, please let me know down in the comments so I can give you a proper thank you, because I'm so excited for these. Both of these have Black representation as well as queer representation, so I'm so excited for that. And the first one is A Song Below Water by Bethany Morrow. I'm very excited for this book. It's a mermaid book. I'm so excited for a mermaid book. I'm really looking for awesome recommendations for mermaid books, so hopefully this is the one. And I love that it has awesome representation in it, so I'm very, very excited for this. I don't know too much about this particular synopsis, but I'm still excited and I cannot wait. Hopefully I love it. Then I have You Should See Me in a Crown. This is by Leah Johnson. This book just sounds so freaking cute. It's about a young girl in high school who is very excited to head off to college, but she finds out that her financial aid falls through, and she is obviously devastated, but she learns that the prom queen can get a scholarship. So she decides to run for prom queen, but there is another girl who is also running for prom queen that I can't say that word, prom queen, that I think she has a little bit of a crush on, and so there's supposed to be a really cute female romance, and here obviously some Black representation, so I'm very excited for this and I've heard fantastic things. Alright, and the last 3 books that I received as a gift was from my husband's family, my sister-in-law, my father-in-law, and all of them. They got me 3 books and I'm very excited for them. The first one is actually going to go into that giveaway because I have 2 copies now, and that is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I am very excited for this book in general. I'm so pumped for her as an author. I just finished reading Clap When You Land and I really enjoyed it, and so I'm really excited to read this. From what I've heard, this is a story about a single mother in high school, really just trying to find her way and cope with the things that she has going on. It has a lot of food aspects to this, and so I'm really excited. It sounds like it's YA, bordering on new adult, and I'm just really excited to read it. The next 2 are part of a series, and that is The Vine Witch and The Glamourist, and that's by Luann G. Smith. I have not heard anything about these books or the series as a whole, but the covers look gorgeous and I'm really excited. Hopefully I enjoy them. Alright, the next books that I'm going to talk about are all books that I bought for myself as a gift to myself. Happy birthday to me. But a lot of these books I got on a gift card that I received for my birthday, and other ones I just have no self-control and I decided to buy them. what's new. But let's go ahead and talk over those. Okay, so these are not in any particular order of where I bought them. They're just in a stack, and I'm gonna go through them. The first book that I have is Nocturna. Luna has her own booktube channel. She also has a Discord where she's running a book club, and this is her pick for August, and so I'm very excited to read this. From what I heard, it's a Latinx fairy tale retelling. Don't ask me what it's retelling. I have no idea, but from the way that she describes it, it sounds gorgeous. Why do I keep doing this? I don't know what this is, but I've heard it's good, so I really am excited for August. Is going to be a great month, so yay for this. All right, and then I picked up a book that I've already read and absolutely loved, and that was Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I just needed to pick up myself a physical copy so I can reread this and annotate it because it is one of my favorite books of the year. It was so good, and I'm so excited to read this again. And as I talked about before, I have With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is the hard copy, and I specifically wanted this one because the inside cover is gorgeous. Like, come on now, that is so freaking pretty, and so I will definitely be keeping this copy. But yeah, I'm very excited for this book, as I said before, and I'm hoping it's really good. Then another fantastic book that I'm so excited to read, and that is Felix Ever After by, who wrote this? Oh, Kaysen McCallender. This book just sounds so freaking good. This is the first book that I've seen that I've really hit it off in the book scene for having trans rep, and we need more books like this. It's crazy to me that there aren't enough books like this where people who can identify with the trans community are seeing themselves in a book represented, and I think that that is so amazing. This book has had so much hype, so much love, and I'm so excited to see what I think of it. I know I'm gonna love it, but yes, I'm very excited for Felix Ever After. All right, so the next book that I have, I accidentally bought a duplicate, so if I don't return it, that will also go into the giveaway, but that is Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shauna McGuire. This is the third book in the Wayward Children series. I really loved the series as a whole when I first started reading it, and I am very excited to continue on with the series. If you don't know what the Wayward Children series is about, it is about these kids who go into these parallel universes, basically these almost kind of like wonderlands, but all of their worlds are different, and for some reason or another they get sent back to the ordinary world, and they get sent to this school for wayward children where they can kind of cope with being back in the real world and no longer having that space where they felt like they were at home. So the first book was kind of an introduction to all of the characters, very different, and then the books that are continuing on with the series are focused on individual characters that you've met in the first book and their worlds and how they got there and how they got kicked out. So I'm very excited for this. That was a very long explanation, but I'm very excited for the third book. I've heard that this is the least popular book in the series, but I'm still hoping that I love it. Then I picked up a book that I have been teetering on the edge of whether or not I want to buy it, and I finally just caved and bought it, and that is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I am not a sci-fi person, to say the least, and so that's one of the reasons why I didn't know if I wanted to pick this up, but this book is so beloved, and I couldn't give myself any other reasons as to why I wouldn't pick it up, so I decided to snag this. I'm very excited. I haven't read any Brandon Sanderson before, and I figured starting off with the YA of his works would be best, and then I definitely want to dive into his adult fantasy, but let's crawl before we walk. All right, another book club pick that I'm very excited for, and a book that was on my most anticipated books of the year, and that is More Than Maybe by Aaron Hahn. Braden has his own booktube channel as well as he's running his own book club, and this is his August pick, so I'm very excited for this. For all of the book clubs that I mentioned, I will leave everything that you need to know in the description box below if you are interested in joining, but I'm very, very excited for this. I cannot wait. This is a book that just really piqued my interest when I first heard about it. Has to do with music, and it's a YA romance, and I'm just very excited for it. All right, let's really talk about a book that I have just had FOMO for not reading, and I'm so excited that I finally own a copy, and that is Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. You guys know that I have not had the best luck when it comes to graphic novels, but I'm really, really hoping that this one is going to turn the tides, because I've heard nothing but rave reviews about this book, this graphic novel, should I say, and I just hope that I love it. This is about a couple named Nick and Charlie. One is openly out and the other is not so much, and it's his journey of coming out, their relationship. I've heard it's just so cute and sweet and romantic, and I'm very excited for it. Up next, we have Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nan. I am very excited for this book, another book with queer representation in it. Gotta love that. I'm definitely excited to be reading more diversely in the next couple of months, really pushing myself to work through that. I think everyone has really like opened up and like noticed that they're not reading diversely, and I'm so excited that there are so many books to choose from with diverse representation in every aspect. Obviously we need more, but this is a good start. I think it's a pretty good start. So I'm very excited for this. I don't know too much about the series as a whole. I know there's 2 books in the series, and this is the first one, and the magic has to do with paper. Honestly, I don't know too much, but I'm very excited for it. I've heard great things, and I'm hoping that I really enjoy the series. So you guys know me. I don't always go into my books knowing synopsis. I buy them based off good recommendations, and if I don't know the synopsis and that really bothers you, I'm sorry. I apologize. But the next book that we have is Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins. This is a YA romance, I believe. It might be queer. Don't quote me on that. It might be. I think it is. But I'm really excited for this. I know the companion novel just came out. I think it's called Prince Charming, and I'm really hoping that I enjoy the 2 books as a whole. I only own the first one so far, but I've heard great things, and I'm hoping I love it. All right, this is a book that so many people have recommended that I read, and I really hope that it's the first book in the series. Please let me know if I'm wrong. And that is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This is a superhero book. I don't know much more about it than that, but I'm very excited for this book. I've heard great things. A lot of my subscribers have been telling me that I need to read it and that it's one of their favorite books that they've read. So I'm very excited for this. I didn't realize it was so damn chunky, but that happened. Overall, I'm excited for it. The lights are just, whoa. I'm still learning, guys. Sorry. All right, and I am very excited for this book. I talked about it in my book club announcement video that I didn't have a copy of Mermaid Moon yet, which is the September pick, and I finally received the copy, and I can totally understand why people picked this just for a cover buy, because wow. And this is Mermaid Moon. The cover is gorgeous. Let's talk about that first. First and foremost, I like how it's very square. Like usually books are kind of rounded off, but this is a very square book, and I quite like that. I don't want to show the amazingness just yet. The inside cover is gorgeous. I mean, come on. And then to top it all off, freaking sprayed edges. Come on now, you guys. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Whoa. I don't really need to explain this too much. Just by saying this is a Little Mermaid retelling, a lot of the same aspects. A witch that wants immortality has to travel onto land and find her footing. It's very much a Little Mermaid retelling, and I'm very excited for this. Those of you guys that have expressed that you're excited to read this in the month of September, so am I, and getting this beautiful edition has made it even more exciting. I just really hope that I love it. All right, and then this is another book that I've already read and needed a physical copy for myself, and that was Slay by Brittany Morris. This book is so amazing. If you haven't read it yet, I 100% compel you to read this. It is so good. This is about a young girl named Kira. It's been a while since I read it. Yes, Kira, it was right. Kira, who has created this amazing online gaming site for Black people. And it's a space where Black people can come and be themselves and own who they are and not have the fear of judgment for the color of their skin. But when something kind of crazy happens to one of the players in this game, the game kind of gets thrust into the spotlight, and the topic of racism and different things like that come out. And this book is amazing. It has a light contemporary feeling to it, which is amazing, but it also talks about some really awesome topics like racism and microaggressions, and it's just a fantastic book. 100% recommend it. Read it. The next book that I want to talk about is another book that I'm very excited for. Excuse me, sir. You don't have to drive that fast. Anyways, a book that I'm very excited for in regards to awesome representation, and I've heard nothing but great praise about this book, and that is The Black Flamingo by Dean Ada. Sorry, I'm not very good at pronouncing these names, but I'm very, very excited for this. This is about a mixed boy who is really struggling not only with being mixed and not being one or the other enough, you know, not black enough, not Greek enough, but he's really struggling with that, on top of the fact that he is a drag queen, and he's just coming into this new role in his life, and he's really struggling to figure out how to find his footing in the world. And this book just sounds amazing. I've heard nothing but great things. Everybody that has read it has loved it, and I'm really hoping that I'm one of those people as well. Up next, another Elizabeth Acevedo, and that is The Poet X. Another book written in verse. I was very scared of books written in verse until I read an Elizabeth Acevedo book, and I was thoroughly impressed. So I'm very excited to read her first book in verse. I don't know what it's about, but I'm trusting in her as an author, and I know she's gonna blow me away, so I'm very excited for it. All right, and then we have the book pick for Shelf Space and what we're going to be reading in the month of August, and that is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I am so pumped for this. I have been talking with a lot of my subscribers. I've been talking with Jessie. We are so pumped for this actual month to start, for August to start, and we can finally jump into this book. But I'm so excited for N.K. Jemisin. I've heard nothing but great things about her as a writer. I've heard nothing but great things about this book. It's an urban fantasy where New York has a whole bunch of souls, and the topic of souls and the magic that is a part of this book, it just sounds like it's going to be so amazing. I'm kind of excited to go in a little bit more blind than I'm used to. Well, technically I go through most of my books blind, but especially for like a book club pick where I'm supposed to know more about it, I'm kind of excited to know not that much and be excited about that and be intrigued by a book nonetheless. So I'm really hoping that I love it, and I hope that you guys will join us for the month of August. All right, the next book that I picked up is another book that I've already read, and that is So You Want to Talk About Race. This was a fantastic anti-racism book. I listened to it via audiobook, and it was fantastic. So good that I wanted to pick up my own copy, reread it, and annotate it. This book had me crying. This book had me going, yeah, that's so right, that's so true. And it also helped me really think. It may help me expand my mind. It offered me more education on the things that, you know, I go through on a daily basis that I didn't know there were words for, and I didn't know there were explanations for. So it was a really awesome book. But not only that, it also opens your eyes to the fact that, you know, everybody has the ability to be racist. And sometimes you don't know the proper way to respond to somebody when they are hurt by the fact that you said something that they perceive as racist. And I thought that that was really awesome. I learned a lot of things from this book. 100% recommend it if you're looking for more education. It was fantastic. And then I did a thing, and I'm proud of it. Kind of. Not really. But I bought myself another copy of Crescent City. As you can see, my other copy is right there. And I picked up this copy because I want to spray the edges. I obviously haven't done that yet. And I'm very terrified of actually doing it, because if you guys have opened this book or read it, you know that this has Bible pages. And I'm really hoping that I don't ruin it. But I bought the specific second copy for that purpose. And if I do ruin it, then oh well. And I would talk about this, but you guys already know. I've talked about this on so many videos that it's just not, I'm just not gonna do it. Are you proud of me? All right, the next two books I'm gonna talk about are from Book of the Month, and I have been watching their selections over the past 2 months, and in the month of July, they had 2 titles on their 5 book picks that were written by African-American authors. And I think that's awesome. That is a very good start to being more diverse and inclusive in regards to their titles. However, I did notice that a lot of the titles stayed very white-centered, other than the 2 African-American authors. And this month, I have already picked my 2 books that I will be reading for this month. And they had 1 book written by an African-American author. And I believe maybe July or August, they also had an Asian author. So I think they are definitely working on being more inclusive when it comes to their picks. I'm going to continue to keep an eye out on it, but it seems like right now they are sticking to what they said that they were going to do. We'll take it a month at a time, and I will keep you guys updated a month at a time. And if I see that they're slipping on that or not holding to their end of the bargain, then I will be canceling my subscription. But I've had a couple people ask me about it, so I want to keep you updated. The first book that I picked up is Big Friendship, How We Keep Each Other Close. This is by, nope, not gonna try it. It's by 2 different authors, and it's a nonfiction book about friendship as a whole, and I just thought it sounded really good. This is by Black authors, a Black author and a white author, and so I'm very excited to see how this plays out. It's quite short, so hopefully I will enjoy it. I have been getting more into nonfiction as I go through my reading experiences, so hopefully I really like it. All right, the next book that I picked up is Head Over Heels. This is by Hannah Ornstein, and this is a gymnastics romance. And I heard gymnastics, and I needed to be in that like real hard because I was a gymnast growing up, and I love the sport as a whole. And to read a book about that, I'm just very excited. So hopefully I love it. All right, we're getting to the last 4 books finally. I love how I cut this in half, and it's still going to be a 30-minute video. So you're welcome. The next book that I want to talk about is a book that I just saw at Walmart one day. They had it in a really cheap section, and it had some black people on the cover and a romance, and I just don't see enough of that, so I snagged it. I really hate mass market paperbacks. I think they're ugly and disgusting, but I saw it, and so I decided to pick it up. It's called A Reunion of Rivals. I literally don't know what this is about. I know it's romance. I know it's Harlequin. That's it. Hopefully I like it. All right, and then I picked up a book that I'm not even sure why I bought it. Honestly, I'm terrified of this book, but we'll see. And that is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. And I know that it's a TV show. I know that a lot of people love it. It's an adult fantasy with time travel. That's literally all I know. And look at these little letters. They're the tiniest little things I've ever seen, and it's a big book. I'm terrified. Hopefully I love it. Help me. Send help. All right, and then I picked up my very first manga. I have read manga in the past, but I don't own any in my collection, so I'm very excited to have added this, and that is Orange by... Somebody tell me how to pronounce this last name because I'm totally going to butcher it, but I've heard great things about this series as a whole. This is about a group of friends who gets a letter from their future self saying that one of their friends is going to die, and it is like their responsibility to save them before it happens. I've heard great things. I've heard this series touches you in the feels, and I'm really hoping that I fall in love with the characters. And the very last book that I'm going to talk about in this haul, another book that was on my most anticipated list of the year, and that was Forest of Souls by Lori M. Lee. This book has a lot of dark magic, and it just sounds so intriguing. Basically, the main character is getting ready to join this new start of her life, but one of her friends dies, and she somehow miraculously brings her back to life, and that magic has not been seen in this world in years, maybe ever. And so she gets kind of pulled into the politics of this new world, and it sounds very interesting. I'm very excited. Like I said, it sounds like a dark fantasy, and I'm hoping that it's really good. It's YA, so we'll see how dark it really gets, but I'm hoping that it's really amazing. But yeah, that is it. We made it to the end of this gigantic haul cut in half. So I believe I will be putting this one up first, so if you guys want to see all of the used books that I picked up in the last month, feel free to check that video out. I'm very excited for what August has in store for us. It's going to be so much fun. Thank you to everybody that sent me gifts. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet, so kind. I tell you guys all the time that I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you, and it was really such a nice thing to see you guys do something that nice and sweet for me. So thank you so much for those of you guys that did send me something. Thank you everyone for all my birthday wishes. You guys were so awesome, and you guys made this birthday so memorable and enjoyable. So thank you so much. That is the end of this very long video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big O thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!